Hey guys, how you doing? Uncle Connor here, once again with another video, and today we're going to be doing the Mortal Kombat movie DVD complete collection, or I should say current collection, because they're making a sequel to the most recent one. Um, yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing on this video. Now, I am aware that there is a few other Mortal Kombat uh, films, or so to speak, but they're not, or TV series. I know there's sort of like an animated cartoon that they did, but this is just the live action ones. This collection is about, obviously the first two, and then the rebooted remake, and then obviously can't add the other one because I haven't made it yet, or it's not out yet. But maybe when they do make it and I get it, I'll make another video with that included, or I'll certainly do a review on it whenever it comes out or whenever it's made. I'm sure that's not going to be for a while yet. So guys, let's talk about it. Mortal Kombat, obviously coming from the very well-known, popular game franchise. I think when I first started knowing about Mortal Kombat was back when I was a kid, back in growing up in the 90s. I can't remember what year it was. It might have been 94 or something, one of those years, going back many moons ago, over I can't think of how long it is ago now. Well, I'm 38 now, so you've got to be talking, well, it's more than 20, isn't it? So it'd be 23. I mean, you could be talking, we might be talking 28 years ago, something like that. Yeah, quite a while ago. But I remember people talking about, I didn't really know much when I was 10, back in the day. I knew of stuff from what people were saying, but to be honest, I didn't really have a clue. I know about certain stuff like cartoons and different stuff, and I had games and different stuff, like I knew about Sonic and that. But Mortal Kombat, didn't really. I was going to say I knew what it was, but I didn't really get into it until later on. I know there was loads and loads of games on it. Can't remember how many. I think I only had one game. I think I played the old games on Game Boy and Nintendo or whatever it was. As I say, I wasn't like a huge fan on it. I had a Sega when I was younger. I think the Sega Master System was the first computer I had. Then I got, I think I got a Mega Drive. I can't remember. I think I got a Mega Drive after that. And then later on, I got an N64, then a GameCube. I never got a SNES, Nintendo. I played on my friends, or so-called friends, back in the day. I played on their computer SNESs. I really liked it. I'm surprised I didn't actually get a Nintendo, to be honest. I don't know, maybe because I was sort of like a Sega kid when I was younger, just to play Sega games, Sega stuff. So that's, but then when I used to go round to friends or friend of the families, used to go and play their computer and Mario and different things, But surprised I didn't really get one, but that's how it was, a Sega. Anyway, that's enough talking about that. Let's actually go back to talking about the film. So obviously coming from the well-known game franchise, and then obviously they made a live-action film in '95. And even though I didn't know much about it. As soon as I saw the film, I wanted to see the film, and I think I was because it was '95. This came out, and I was about 10 or 11, I think. And then as soon as I saw it, I wanted to see it. I just thought this looks absolutely fantastic. So yeah, even though I didn't know much about Mortal Kombat, yeah, I wanted to see the film and know about it. Yeah, I think I was actually too young at the time to go and see it, 'cause I think it was rated 15, if I remember correctly, and I was only 11, so way too young to see a film 15 certificate. Um, However, when it came out, I got it straight away, because I was too young to see it at the cinema back in '95. So then I waited for it to come out in VHS, and then I got it, got it straight away, as soon as it came out, and then I saw it. I can't remember how many times, quite a few times after that. Even though I was too young to watch it, I still watched it at 11 or 12 or whatever it was, and I just thought it was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, and then I just thought all the characters was fantastic, and yeah, to me, to tell you the truth, the film is just it's absolutely fantastic. To be honest, as I said, I loved it back then, and I still love it even to this day. 28 years or 27 years after, and I still watch it even now. Even now I'm a lot older. I still watch it now. I actually just watched it a little while ago, um, and for me, it never gets old. It's just a film that you can just watch over and over again. It don't matter how many times you watch it, you just love it. It's just fantastic. And yeah, I think the time is good. Although maybe I don't know, maybe it could do with another 10 minutes. But to be honest, I don't think it really needs it. I think the whole thing is sort of they do it. They pan it out. Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe at the beginning it's too rushed to get into on the boat and then going to the tournament. Maybe it could have been a bit longer at the beginning. I don't know, but I think it still works out real. And then I think when I saw it first time, didn't really pay attention to the time. I just thought it was really fantastic back then, and I still think it's good now. But as I said, look at the time. I think the time is all right for this. To be honest, I don't think. I mean, as I say, it could have done, but I don't think it really needed to. Although I think the last bit at the end where Sonya Blade is kidnapped, maybe it's sort of like rushed because it's like about 10 minutes since she'd been kidnapped and then they rescue her. Maybe that could have been about, I don't know, another 10 minutes longer or so, or 15. I don't know. But I think other than that, it's just a fantastic movie that they transition from a game to movie, and unfortunately, unlike the Street Fighter film that they made in '94, the year before, didn't go so well. Although I actually I've grown to like the Street Fighter film, but it wasn't as good as this, and not successful. Yeah, it's just fantastic all the way through. And the fight scenes are absolutely fantastic. It's good all the way through. I think the fight scenes are really good. Now, but the only things I will say, the fights are really good choreographed. Fighting's really, really good. It's really done well. How a martial arts type film like this should be made. It's a good example how one of these movies should be made. Actually, the people that should have made this should have done Street Fighter like that. If they'd done Street Fighter like this, then that would have been fantastic as well. But unfortunately, it wasn't as good. Even though I like it because of the nostalgia, and I think it's still a fun movie, but it's pretty crappy compared to this. But yeah, the only issues for me is that now the standout performer in this is Liu Kang. And the guy that plays him, can't think of his name off the top of the head because I'm not very good at pronouncing names. But he's the standalone top performer in this. He's just absolutely fantastic. And his character Liu Kang he has about 5 fights. If I remember correctly, he's involved in 5 fights. Sonya Blade only has 1 fight, and Johnny Cage only has 2 fights. But he does most of the action and fighting, and to me, Johnny Cage and Sonya Blade are sort of like just really riding his wings, to be honest, and just there for the ride, because it's all wrote. Most of it's just revolved around Liu Kang, really, to be honest, because he's just the guy that's performing mainly in this, has most of the fights and doing most of the fighting and that. And to me, it's all about mostly him, what he's doing, and the other characters just in it. I mean, that's just my opinion, and it's just fantastic in it. I mean, we could talk about it for ages, but I think we talked about that first one enough. Let's go into Mortal Kombat Annihilation now. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't as good as the first. I don't think a lot of people know that, because it's not as well made. It didn't perform very well. The acting is not as good. It hasn't got Raiden and Sonya Blade that was in the first one are different now. Also, Johnny Cage is different. Only Liu Kang is the original actor from the first film, and Katana is the original actor as well. But the others are not the original actors, which is the downside, and it's disappointing because it should have been the other characters from the first film. But it's one of the weaknesses, and so it's not very well made as the first. And the acting is very poor, and it's not as good, I don't think, all the way through, and some of the fighting is not great. However, some of the fights are actually quite good. So it does have that where it's some of the fighting is not great, but there is some fights that are actually quite good, and there's one moment or one fight early on during the beginning, or I don't know how long, about 10 or 15 minutes in, Sub-Zero versus Scorpion, which is actually, while it lasts, it's actually quite a good little fight, and it's fun. Seeing Sub-Zero versus Scorpion in it is pretty good, and it's quite a fun little fight, and that is actually, to be fair, like with the other things that are not good, it actually has got some good things in it. As I said, that fight is actually quite good. Obviously, all the stuff that Liu Kang is in is good, whatever he's going to be doing anyway, the fighting, and actually, and they fight. Liu Kang fights the other guy. One of those robot guys, I can't forget his name, but that fight is quite good. And then the fight where Sonya Blade goes to rescue Jax, that fight is quite good. I think that's quite good. That's quite enjoyable. That fight is alright, and I quite like that scene. So there is moments, although weaker than the first, but it has got, as I said, it has got some moments that are actually quite good and should be, said for being quite good. It has got a few fights in there that are quite good. And the fighting is good. Actually, there's nothing wrong with the Sub-Zero Scorpion fight. It's actually quite good. And the fighting. As I said, Raiden has a fight with a couple of guys, and that doesn't look too bad either. And also the music. It's got a really, really good soundtrack to it. I've actually got the soundtrack. Well, I did have. I'm pretty sure I have still got it, but the soundtrack is very, very good. Lots of good dance tracks. I actually used to dance to it when I was a street dancer. Going back quite a while, about 15 or so years ago, when I was doing a bit of street dancing. She danced to that track, and it's a really good dance track. It's got loads and loads of good dance tracks on it. It's just full of just good dance songs, and they're in this as well, so it's really good. So you know, that's one thing about it. You know, there's a few good fights, and yeah, I mean, to be honest, although it's not as good, I actually do enjoy it. Well, not as much as the first, but actually, you know, and I think it's a cult classic. The second one there, anyway, you know, just the first one's cult classic. I think the second one's grown as a cult classic now, and I quite like it anyway, even though it's weaker than the first and not as good. But I quite enjoy it watching it. And as I said, I think it's got some stuff in there that's quite good. But other than it, yeah, it's pretty good. But now I think we've talked enough about those. Let's talk about the most recent one. So obviously the rebooted one that they've done, and it came out. I think it was 2021. I think it was, and there was a lot of you know, anticipation, and you know, I don't think people could wait to see this. I certainly couldn't wait to, because you know, because obviously I was a fan of those two films anyway. You know, obviously I couldn't wait for another film. You know, I was quite excited. Didn't see it at the cinema. I only saw it when it came out on video. And for a reboot, yeah, it's pretty good, to be honest. Obviously, I don't like it as much as I don't even like it as much as Annihilation. I don't think, because that's sort of grown on me over the years, and I certainly don't like it as a first. However, I do like it as a reboot. It's certainly done differently to those, and the way it's done differently is done really well, and it's actually really good all the way through. I do like it, and I think it is really fun and enjoyable, and there's a lot of good characters in it. I like all the different characters, a lot of new characters from the first couple, which is good. And the fighting is really good in it. A lot of good fight scenes, a lot of good scenes that I like, a lot of action going on, and yeah, I think it does really work. You know, it's certainly not a failure when you consider the first couple, and I think yeah, it's really good. But as I said, never going to enjoy it as much as the first. I don't think I enjoy it as much as Annihilation, because you know, they're a couple of films I used to watch when I was younger. You know, growing up in the 90s. You know, so certainly don't enjoy them as much as that, because they've got a lot of nostalgia there. And even films where some people say, or you know, they ain't actually that good, I still like them anyway, because I just enjoy them. Maybe for all the wrong reasons. You know, sometimes you just enjoy films that are a bit rubbishy, so to speak, and are not that great, but you just enjoy them anyway because it's got that nostalgia fact, and you just enjoy them because it reminds you, you know, of when you was younger, sort of thing. But as I said, this is a really good reboot. Yeah, and I think it's really good, quite fun and enjoyable, but just not as fun and enjoyable as the original. Yeah, but you know. So guys, I'll really be looking forward to the new one whenever it comes out. I may go and try and see it at the cinema, but I might just wait for it to come on DVD. I'm not too sure. But it's probably going to be a while before I make that decision. But so guys, I'm going to wrap this up now because this video is longer than what I thought it was going to be. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more videos. And yeah guys, that's going to be the end of this video. So take care, bye for now, and I'll see you guys in the next video.